Hey man, it's your boy Kenny C here. Sorry for the late start, but we should be up and running shortly. So just we just as I said, sorry for the late start. Web Bastard Sports Show just ended, and right now I'm about to get Jeff on the line right here, right now. So let me see here. Let me get Jeff in the call real quick. While y'all enjoy the music on ITMI Radio. And I'm going to get Jeff on here just as soon as Skype actually goes through. So, hey man. Just chilling, man. Got the house for myself for the weekend. Yeah, gonna be partying. Yeah.
Gonna party hardy, huh?
Nah, I'm not gonna
Check
party.
you out, fucking bachelor boy.
Who sent it?
Bachelor boy. Hey, do me a favor. Put your email in the Skype board so I can send you a invitation to join the league.
Oh, is it for the for both?
Yeah, the Pick'em League.
Oh, okay. Let me.
I haven't decided if I'm gonna do a real fantasy baseball league or not yet.
Okay.
You're not wireless, right?
No.
Okay. Evo.
Ebo's here. Yeah, I'm gonna give you my Yahoo since.
Pick the one you want. I don't give a shit.
Oh.
But I'm sending you the invitation as soon as the show's over. Sign up right away.
All right.
Wait.
All right. Settle down. Damn.
Yeah, CJ.
Got a month before the season starts.
Just do it.
Holy shit. The guest, she's in the chat room right now.
Who's the guest today?
Ada Marie X89 is her username. She's in the chat room right now.
Okay, I just send you the invitation. You're all set.
All right.
Okay, let me get to the chat room. Where's my chat room? Oh, there it is. What's her?
Her name is Ada Marie.
Oh, I see it. Ada Marie. She's in the chat room already.
Yeah, that's a first.
Shit, man.
She's in the chat room.
What time is she supposed to be calling in?
8:30.
Okay, so I better be nice then, huh?
Hey.
Say any mean things. She's already in the chat room.
Well, it's not often that we get a guest in the chat room listening to us. So this is cool.
I know.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, we getting ready to go live right now.
Go for it, buddy.
Alright. And welcome everybody to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. And here come the echo. What's good, everybody, and welcome to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. We apologize for the late start, but we do appreciate you all for joining us. And before I go any further, I do want to give a shout out to Ada Marie, who will be our guest for this evening, and she is in the chat room right now.
Yeah, so when Kenny told me that she was already in the chat room, I said, "Oh, I better be nice." So.
Oh man! So she will be joining us in about 23 minutes. So we better get to the WWE portion right away. In case you haven't heard, before we get to CM Punk, because that's obviously the big story. Before we get to the CM Punk stuff, and there she is, she's typing in the chat room. That's good. Before we get to CM Punk, I do want to get to what happened prior to CM Punk's return. As you know, there was a WWE Championship match between Miz and Mysterio, and it must sucks to be Rey Mysterio right now. Yes, it does. Mysterio wins the WWE Championship for the first time. Happy for him. He gets the champagne. He gets that champagne treatment, kind of like what happened when you win a championship. You get the champagne pour all over you. He got that treatment, right? And then he gets interviewed right after he wins the belt, saying to his wife and to his 2 kids, "I'm bringing the WWE Championship back home." Apparently, Triple H and John Cena did not get the memo, because later that night, Triple H, the new man in charge, has made the WWE title match, made Mysterio to defend his belt just an hour and 45 minutes after he won it. He has to face John Cena. Cena, since he didn't get fired by anyone, he had his rematch clause. So
You knew that was coming.
and you did say it on this show that was going to happen too, which kind of is more shocking. You said
What, that I was right?
yes. You said that you said Cena was going to get his rematch later that night, and that's exactly what happened.
Told you.
So Cena is, whether CM Punk fans want to deal with it or not, he's the champion since Punk, via storyline, is unemployed. Now,
Yeah, but it was kind of whacked what happened at the end, though.
yeah, I'm like, Cena wins the championship again, right? And then music gets played, and everybody's like, what the hell's going on? And then Punk slowly walks his way into the ring. I mean, CM Punk has definitely, he's been the man to talk about, pretty much. So whatever,
Has he signed with WWE?
apparently so. Otherwise, he would not have been there. Now let's.
So what are they going to do now? These two are going to meet fucking next pay-per-view to combine the champions, or what?
That's what it looks like it's going to happen at SummerSlam,
Oh, it's SummerSlam? When is SummerSlam?
August 14th, L.A. Staples Center. So that's
August 14th, huh?
yeah, August 14th, biggest event of the summer. But Evo, he was hotter than when he started. Then that's all I'm saying about Punk. Yeah,
I hate that fucking dude. I can't stand that fucking Punk.
you can't stand Punk.
I can't. I hate him. I can't stand him. I don't like him. He's a punk. That's why that name fits him perfectly.
And he's got in the T-shirt, his new T-shirt at the back. It says "Best in the World." He's obviously the most talked about in the world. That's for sure. But so it's gonna be interesting for the next couple of weeks leading up to SummerSlam.
It's going to be very interesting. How many more Monday nights do we have?
Got two more.
One, two more?
Yeah, two more before SummerSlam.
Two more before SummerSlam.
And speaking of which, Triple H, he will be on SmackDown tomorrow night to address the SmackDown, what's going on over there.
So I guess I'm going to have to watch that shit now, huh?
Yes, you are. So Triple H is in charge. He made
What time is that fucking show on?
SmackDown?
Yeah.
8 o'clock. Well,
Sci-Fi Channel?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to see if I can find a Sci-Fi Channel. Holy shit.
So yeah.
What do you think about that, Triple H being in charge now?
I think he's made some smart moves already, and one thing I'm liking about this new regime, as Triple H likes to call it, is that good old JR is back.
I like that.
And poor Michael Cole. He's no.
What did you think about Michael Cole coming out in Triple H's gear? Was that funny or what?
That's the funniest moment of the night.
See, I actually thought after that, when he came out, I actually thought Triple H was going to come out and wrestle him. That would have been great.
I mean, having him to wear his own attire, that was funny.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I'm looking at the chat room right now. Ada Marie, our guest for this evening, participating in the chat room. And obviously people are talking about the new video game, WWE 12. It's no longer going to be called SmackDown versus Raw. It's going to be called WWE 12, as in
Jesus.
2012. And according to Andrew, my Kentuckian friend, August 14th is when the roster for the video game to be revealed. Oh, and speaking of which, I just found out that The Rock is going to be featured in the video game as well. So if you're a fan of Team Bring It, you get to be as The Rock in the new WWE video game. He's going to be featured probably as an unlockable character, but The Rock will be there. Speaking of Rock, as he said to Cena fans, he's coming to Survivor Series later this year as well.
What about SummerSlam?
He's not. He's not gonna be there. He's still filming G.I. Joe or whatever. He's
G.I. Joe.
A G.I. Joe movie or whatever.
What a douchebag.
So, but he'll be there at the Survivor Series, and obviously he'll be there next year to face Cena. Now, will Cena still have the title in his hand? That remains to be seen.
So is Triple H done wrestling?
He's gonna be an occasional wrestler. He's gonna be like Undertaker. He's not gonna wrestle every single week. He's gonna wrestle on special occasions.
So SummerSlam's a special occasion, ain't it?
It is one of their top pay-per-views of the year.
So what do you think?
I don't see Triple H wrestling out SummerSlam. He's gonna be sticking with the role he's in. You know, he's gonna be sticking to the day-to-day operations. So,
what about CeeLo performing at SummerSlam?
Oh yeah, that's right. Grammy Award nominee, recording artist, Mr. FU himself, CeeLo Green. He'll be performing.
You ever look at that guy's hands?
He got some big hands.
He's got the smallest hands I've ever seen in my life. Dude, I'm serious. Watch him on fucking. If you ever get a chance to watch a rerun of The Voice,
yeah,
they're
on
talking to him. Look at his freaking hands. They're so freaking small. They don't even go with his body. It's hysterical, dude.
He has a big old body but some small hands.
He does. The smallest hands I've ever seen. It's fucking hysterical.
And
he's got like baby fucking hands.
And and CeeLo's song is the theme song for SummerSlam, so obviously it makes sense that he's gonna be there. And seeing that he's just gonna perform a couple of songs and he'll be done. It's not like he's gonna wrestle or anything. He's just gonna perform a couple of songs. I wish he would perform the song "F You."
No, I'm tired of that fucking song. One song this guy makes and millionaire. Ridiculous.
I mean, he's had success before that song. He was part of Gnarls Barkley.
I've never heard of him until fucking FU came out, so bullshit. And I've been on this earth for 45 years.
Well, Evo is like, as long as I don't have to hear that song anymore.
I don't want to hear it. You know what? When that part comes out, when he's playing his music, I'm going to the bathroom. Whether I got to or not.
Man, you just hating on CeeLo.
I don't like CeeLo.
He's bald headed just like you.
I don't like him.
Don't like him. Here's some other WWE news. Former WWE superstar Michael Tarver, who's you may know him from NXT season 1. You may know him as a member of the Nexus from last year. Well, he's no longer with the WWE, and he's did an interview recently, and he took shots at John Cena, saying that when Cena injured him last year, which kind of led to his release, Cena was seen backstage laughing at him. So Cena hasn't responded to that story. But who the hell is Michael Tarver? Okay? He's an MMA fighter who never done anything in WWE. And it's sad for me to say this because he is a brother after all. And he was the only other brother besides David Otunga. But Michael Tarver, he's an MMA fighter who just didn't make it out in the WWE. So he can talk about Cena all he wants, but who are you? Your only claim to fame was the Nexus. Okay? So he just needs to shut the hell up and just move on. Just shut up, Michael Tarver. Oh, I got some news from the Impact side a little bit later, Jeff. I know you're a fan of the TV show Big Brother.
Yeah.
That someone from the Big Brother has signed a contract with Impact. And I'll get to that story a little bit later on in tonight's show. But we got Ada Marie in the chat room.
Impact, what? The old timers wrestling?
I guess that's what you call it. Yeah, but yeah, someone a cast member from Big Brother
From this year's Big Brother?
from season 10 and 11. I'm not sure how many.
I bet you I already know who it is.
Well, I'll get to that story a little bit later on. But here's another story. And my friend Andrew told me this story last night when we was talking on Facebook. Two-time Divas champion Maurice appears to have a stalker following her at almost every WWE event that she goes to. This stalker is a 61 years old. Now Maurice, blonde hair, former two-time Divas champion, is scared out of her mind. You know, she's still wrestling and stuff, but apparently she needs to get security, obviously. But then the rest of the wrestlers need to get security if this girl getting stalked by a 61-year-old man. Okay, this man is old enough to be his father. So I'm not sure what the security is doing or what they're not doing, but they need to get a load of it. A little bit later on tonight, we're gonna give y'all this day in wrestling history. Couple of things happened on this day, July 28th. And Ada, since you in the chat room, why don't you go ahead and post your links, your Twitter, your Facebook, etc., so people can know where to get in touch with you. You can go ahead and post your links if you want. How do people in Kane stalk people? This guy probably was in a wheelchair, Evo, for all I know. But he's 61 years old. And if Andrew, if you can, please post that link so we can get more info on it. Maybe they take big steps. You know, how does a 61-year-old man stalk? That's kind of frightening if you think about it. The fact that this guy, who's at the senior ages, you know, can do such a thing. Now she's still wrestling, you know, and stuff. She's still showing up at events, but obviously WWE need to get this taken care of, because one of their peoples is. I mean, what? But then again, she's Marie. She's a wrestler. She probably can kick the guy's butt. Not probably, she can. She's a two-time Divas champion. If you got someone stalking you and you're a two-time champion, you should beat the crap out of this dude. That's all I'm saying. So that concludes that story. How about this story? I wouldn't be frightening of Paul Bear stalking me. Says Ebo. Here's some other story here. According to reports, Sheamus, the human jar of mayonnaise himself, he's leaning towards a babyface turn. He's been a heel throughout his short WWE career. Obviously, he had a good reaction after he beat up Wade Barrett last Friday on SmackDown. So Sheamus is about to become a good guy.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, and here's some other news. Daniel Bryan, who is the SmackDown's Money in the Bank, was interviewed by the annoying Michael Cole. And Daniel Bryan announced that he's going to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase at next year's WrestleMania. Now, Daniel Bryan has until July of next year to cash in the briefcase. Do you really believe that Daniel Bryan is going to wait until next year's WrestleMania? Or is he going to be like everybody else, see someone beating up and take advantage of the champion? I want to believe Daniel Bryan I think he's just saying he wants to be the good guy. He wants to do the right thing, that sort of stuff. Now remember, the Money in the Bank winner, the latest person, there's should I say the superstar who cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, the latest goes to Edge. Remember, he won the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. And then almost a year later, he cashed it in on John Cena at the New Year's Resolution. I believe that's the name of the pay-per-view. He cashed it in like 8-9 months later. He cashed it in and won the title. Evo says he probably carry around that briefcase until the end of his career. Well, he probably will, because that was like the biggest win of his career, considering this man has been in the indie circuit for a very long time. I said on this show last week that he should cash it in at SummerSlam.
Who's that?
Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure about when Del Rio.
Fuck Del Rio right in his ass. I hope he doesn't win. I hate that son of a bitch.
You don't like Del Rio.
No, I don't like Del Rio.
You don't. I don't like his ring announcer more than Del Rio.
I don't like that whole fucking kit and caboodle. As far as I'm concerned, I like to see the Big Show beat the crap out of both of them.
Well,
and hurt him.
Big Show ain't coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, he's down for a while, eh?
Yeah. Sin Cara is injured.
Injured / on a drug fucking bus.
Yeah, injured / suspended. And now you can add the Big Red Monster Kane to the list of injured superstars. He too, just like Big Show at Money in the Bank, Mark Henry put the chair between one of the legs and just did like a splash, and it pretty much shattered his leg. So he's going to be out of action for 3 months. That's according to doctors that posted the report on WWE.com.
Oops.
So, Now, Ada says, I sadly think he'll either lose it in a match or lose when he cashes in. I don't think they'll give him the gold. Maybe. I say maybe, because every time when a wrestler cashes in the briefcase, they successfully win a WWE or World Heavyweight Championship. Look, it would be a feel good story if Daniel Bryan can win it, considering how long it took this guy to get to where he is. And people seem to forgot this ain't the first time Daniel Bryan has been in the WWE. He's been there before, back in the early 2000s, early 1990s, at a young age, and he got cut, which led to him to be wrestling all over the world in the indie circuit. So now as for Del Rio, speaking of Del Rio, he almost cashed in the briefcase on Mysterio when Mysterio won the title, but was unsuccessful. So since Daniel Bryan apparently is going to wait until next year, Del Rio is most likely going to cash it in before Bryan does.
Yeah, I think so too.
Bryan will use it as an opportunity moment. He won't hold on to the title though. Yeah, I agree. If he does win the championship, he's probably going to hang on to it for about a month or two. I guess they don't look at Daniel Bryan as marketable. They don't look at him as a guy that's going to, sell tickets and stuff. Unless your name is Orton, Cena, Mysterio, or Punk, you're not gonna be, you're not marketable. And I keep getting this from. Obviously, Ada thinks that John Cena's chin is scary. It's because of the shirts. Yeah. Maybe his chin can get hit. Justin Bieber. Why does Andrew keep saying Justin Bieber?
He's probably got a thing for Justin Bieber.
Okay, that alone is scary. We'll get to the impact portion a little bit later. In this day in wrestling history, Ada is about to call in about 2 minutes, and we certainly appreciate her for joining us in the chat room. This and to go a little bit further, Ada is our first guest since we started this show to actually be chatting with us. So the previous guests, either they like outside the house or not even near their homes or whatever. But for Ada to join us, this is cool. And she's a wrestler. So don't talk about Ada or she'll whoop your asses.
Hey, I'll do what the fuck I want.
Yeah, good luck with that. She's from New York, by the way, Jeff.
Exactly, so we'll probably get along. Because we usually do and say what the fuck we want anyway, so.
Oh, there you go. New York is your night. In other WWE news, former WWE guest host Chad Ochocinco has been traded to the New England Patriots. Yeah, good luck with that, Belichick. And you got Albert Hainsworth too. You know, not to be too far off topic, but since he was a former guest host, I thought I'd mention it a little bit. So Ada will be calling in about less than a minute or so. We'll talk to her about her wrestling career and what she's got coming up. I'm looking at her Facebook fan page right now, and she's got a lot of events that she's going to be a part of. So, looking forward into talking to Ada momentarily. And like I said, we got the impact discussion, and we got this day in wrestling history. And Ada's calling in right now, so let me go ahead and add her to the call. Ladies and gentlemen, she's already in the chat room. She gets Math Plus for that. She's joining us on the phone line right now. Ada Marie is joining us right here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Good evening, Ada.
Good evening. How you doing?
Doing real good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
First and foremost, thank you for chatting with us in the chat room there. You're the first guest to ever do so.
Oh, absolutely. It's not a problem. Like, I love chatting with people. I love talking with fans and people. So, it's fun.
All right. So, Ada, why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners a little bit about your wrestling career and how it all started?
Okay, well, I'm a 21-year-old Puerto Rican female wrestler from New York. I started wrestling in 2009. I was trained at Gleason's Gym in Brooklyn, New York by WWE Hall of Famer Johnny Rodz. I've been a fan of wrestling since I was 5, and, you know, this is something I always wanted to pursue, but was always nervous too. And then one day I was like, let me just go for it and see what happens. So I went for it, and now here I am a couple years later and doing my thing.
So who were you a fan of growing up as far as wrestlers?
Well, I've always been big on Sensational Sherry, and I was a fan of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, and especially Sting. Like, I love Sting. I was a fan of pretty much everybody, really.
Okay.
Like, I just love the show as a whole.
So, you know, you being in wrestling and how would you describe your wrestling style? Are you a technically sound, you high fly, you submission? How would you describe your wrestling style?
I'd probably say that I'm a mix between technical, little bit of a dirty tactics fighter, and a high flyer. Like, I do some stuff off the top.
Dirty tactics, which kind of leads to my next question. Are you more comfortable being a baby face, or are you more comfortable being a heel?
I love both, because when I'm a heel, I get to be mean, which is really distant from how I actually am. And when I'm a babyface, I feed off the thrill of the crowd and everyone cheering. So both are really fun for me. But I like choking and pulling people's hair, so being heel allows me to do that more often.
Translation: you do whatever it takes to win, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, who would you consider like your favorite wrestlers as far as WWE and Impact that's in the current rosters?
The current roster, in WWE, I would definitely say I love Beth Phoenix. I love Natalia Neidhart. She's awesome. Boys Wise. Wow. I like John Morrison. I like I like Christian. Not a lot of people get Christian credit, but I like Christian. I like CM Punk. I like his wrestling. Even though I agree with one of the people in the chat room that he looks better with long hair. That's just me. I like
He's a
long
punk.
hair.
Now, obviously there's been a lot of talk about Punk and his contract and everything, and obviously he's back now. How do you feel about the Punk situation from a month ago and what he said about, people kissing asses and stuff? Did you think that was real? Was that a sign of frustration, him not getting a bigger push? Or what's your take on that situation?
Whether it was a full-on shoot or a work shoot, I think that what he said was basically what a lot of people were thinking and still think to this day. I was watching it at home with my brother when it happened, and we were flabbergasted, but we found it so funny and so awesome. So I thought it was pretty cool.
I find it funny he was saying what he said wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt. Of all things, he wasn't wearing a Punk t-shirt or a Nexus t-shirt. He was wearing a Steve Austin t-shirt. And I guess what a lot of people see in Punk is that he's like this current generation Steve Austin, as a rebel, speaking his mind, not afraid to say what he truly feels about someone. Anyway, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about some upcoming events you have, as far as where you're going to be wrestling, what's the companies and stuff. What are some of your upcoming shows?
Okay, well, this Saturday I have a show in Columbia, Pennsylvania with the SWO, Susquehanna Wrestling Organization in PA, where I'll be defending my women's title. I'm not sure who I'm facing yet, but I know I'm scared to defend the women's title. On August 5th, I have a show with D2W in Wharton, New Jersey. And I'm trying to think of some of my other dates. I have another show on the 13th with PCWA in Sunbury, PA, and then I'll be wrestling with LVW the next day at the Carbon County Fair in PA. And then on the 20th, I'll be making my NWS debut, as well as working DWS, Devastation Wrestling Federation, in Pensacola, New Jersey, where I'll be defending their women's title because I'm their women's champion also. And following that, I'll be making my 1CW debut in Delaware, where I'll be facing Casey Carlisle. And then later on that night, I'll be working with Maryland Championship Wrestling. And I believe I'm managing that night because in MCW, I'm the co-leader of the Winner Circle organization. So I guess that covers August, unless I forgot something.
Pretty much, I'm looking at your schedule on your Facebook page. You are pretty much busy for the remainder of this year going forward. So if you want to see if Ada is going to be wrestling at a city near you, you can go. You can pretty much go to her Facebook fan page. I posted the link in the chat
Awesome.
room.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And go check it out. And she's going to be wrestling throughout the northeastern part of the United States within the next couple of months. So, again, check her out. Facebook fan page. And also her website, official website is posted, and her Twitter link is on there as well. So go ahead and check that out. Ada Marie Wrestling. So obviously my friend Andrew, he's in the chat room right now, and he just want to say hello. And he said hello. So so yeah, there you go, Andrew. I can't keep doing this for every single guest, man. You're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to either fucking call in or buck up, dude. Come on.
You know that definitely helps. You have to call in and say it at some point. But I'm gonna let you slide on that one, Andrew. You're my friend. I'm gonna let you slide on that one. So Ada, who would you consider your top favorite wrestlers that you have worked with or teamed up with or against? Who would you consider your favorite wrestlers to work with?
My favorite wrestler to work with? Wow, I love everybody that I worked with so far. From working Casey Carlisle in Maryland to doing chop battles with Autumn Breeze in Pennsylvania to wrestling the matches that I've had in DWF, to working Adrian Bliss in NEWF. That was an awesome match. And also working Mia Yim for Jersey Wrestling Elite. Like, all of those matches were great. Working with my tag team partner Desiree and wrestling her sometimes, it's awesome. I've been privileged to be in the ring with a lot of cool people.
Shout out to Casey Carlisle. We had her on the show just a few weeks ago, and she's a very nice lady, and that should be a good matchup between you two. And is there any wrestlers out there that you haven't wrestled that you would like to wrestle in the future?
Oh, there are so many. Whether they're in the United States or out in Puerto Rico. Like, I've wrestled in Puerto Rico before, but there are some women out there that I want to work. And in Japan, like, there are tons of women that I would be honored to share a ring with. So I would personally say everybody.
And before we end this interview, I just have to say this from my good friend Ebo. She said she wouldn't mind getting pinned by Kofi Kingston, just saying. I guess she's into brothers with dreadlocks. And yeah, Kofi's a good guy. He's a good wrestler. They need to give the brother a push. That's all I'm saying. But that's another topic for another time. Ada, before we let you off the phone lines here, we would like for you to do what is called a voice drop. All you got to do is say your name. And right after you say your name, you say you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Okay, I could do that.
All right, go for it.
Hi, this is the Psycho Siren Ida Marie, and you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Amazing. Check her out on the Facebook fan page. Check her out on Twitter. And check out her website. I'm going to post that on here as well. It's official.
Thank you.
officialadamarie.webs.com. That is her official website. I will be posting that in the chat room momentarily. And then after that, we'll let you go. Thank you so much, Ada, not only for joining us, but being in the chat room. Definitely means a lot.
It's my pleasure.
And
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thank you, and best of success goes out to you, and keep in touch.
Absolutely.
All right, you have a Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Ada Marie joining us. Steph, that was cool. That was cool for her to be in the chat room and then call in. So obviously she's our favorite guest in the history of this show. And we only a few months old here at Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
You know what I was doing while she was doing the interview?
You were smoking, wasn't you?
No, actually, that's pretty funny you said that. No, I wasn't smoking. I was actually looking at this book on how to grow medical marijuana. But it's funny that you said that.
Well, I was close. Let's put it that way.
Yes, you were.
Now, I got to get to this story because I know you're a fan of Big Brother. And I said earlier on the show that a cast member from season 10 and 11, his name is Jesse Godwiz.
Yeah, fuck that douchebag.
Yeah, he
Thinks he's God's gift to fucking women. Fuck him.
now he has just signed a deal. He has signed a deal to be a part of Impact.
Great.
And he won't.
Another reason for me not to watch it.
Now you think he's going to be the next reality superstar to have a good career? Look what happened to
you know something? Miz did and is doing very well for himself, man.
Yes, he is.
I'm very impressed from where he's come from to what he's become. I'm pretty impressed with that. I think he's done very well for himself. He's put himself in a place where he's known all over the world now as the Miz as a wrestler.
He has.
I think he's done a great job. He's positioned himself pretty high up there in the WWE ladder, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
That's pretty damn good coming from a fucking reality show, right?
Yeah. I mean, he was in the real world and he was on Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Now
look at him. He's really on Tough Enough now, ain't he?
Yeah. He went from being a contestant on the show to being a guest on the show, considering he's the only Tough Enough contestant to ever win the WWE title. I just wish Miz wasn't such a douchebag. Yeah, he has his douchebag moments, but considering that he proved...
Don't turn him into a good guy sooner or later.
Nah. I don't see... Yeah, he has the awesome stuff and people chant along with him.
I hate that shit.
But, we'll see what happens. And Ada Marie just left, but we do want...
Every time he does that shit, and I go, a piece of shit.
Here's the story here.
Here's a story.
TMZ.
Named Braid.
Okay. TMZ.com reports that former Big Brother stars season 10 and 11, Jesse Godwiz, has signed a deal with TNA Wrestling, aka Impact. The professional bodybuilder has been training under Bully Ray, formerly known as Bully Ray.
Bubba Ray?
Bully Ray. Bubba Ray.
Yeah,
Dudley.
but he used to be Bubba Ray.
Yeah.
Now he's Bully Ray.
Formerly known as Bubba Ray Dudley. He's been trained by Bully Ray in Florida, and TNA officials are hopeful he will debut by the end of the year. So,
he's got to get his ass kicked a couple million more times before he's ready to come in.
That's what happened to the Miz. He got his.
What about the guy who won Tough Enough this year?
Andy Levine. He's coming.
So is Christmas.
that it's been a few months since that season, but I don't see WWE put him to the Wolves just yet. So he obviously still got a lot of training to do before he enters the main roster. So they're not gonna just rush him.
Throw him to the Wolves, man, and see what happens.
Well, maybe he should be put to the Wolves.
Exactly. I think they should do that with Jesse too.
Yeah.
You think you're a tough guy, motherfucker? Get out there. Let's see how tough you are.
Silent rage. Here.
Oh, you know what? I'd like to see Silent Rage and Jesse go at each other. That would be kind of interesting.
Well, uh, Andy got the more wrestling experience, so that would be a blowout.
Well, how do you know? They say that he's been training with Bubba Ray. I mean, come on. How do you know?
Well, he's been trained by Bully Ray, while Andy's been trained by Bill Dumont, Trish Stratus, and Booker T.
And Superfly Snuka.
Yeah, and Ricky Steamboat as well. Plus, the guy he's actually been wrestling. We've seen him on TV on Tough Enough. So, let's see what happens.
That's a joke about Jesse.
Yeah.
You know that, don't you?
I don't even watch the show, Big Brother, so I could care less.
I watched the show. In fact, it's going live on the East Coast in a little while.
All right, here's this day in
I even watched the fucking 24-hour live feed.
Wow.
How about that shit? Yeah. When I'm perusing through the internet, doing my work for my show and doing my work for my website, have it on just to hear what's going on in the house. I'm yelling and fighting with each other. It makes for really great fucking TV. And you want to know something? It takes me away from what's going on in my life. Makes my life look like it's a fucking bunch of roses compared to those motherfuckers. That's why I watch all that shit. Because it makes me feel better about my life. When I feel like my life sucks, I watch that shit. I'm going, I ain't got it that fucking bad. These guys suck. You know?
Ain't that what people feel when they watch a reality TV in the first place?
Yeah, that's why I watch that stupid shit. Like Big Brother. But see, I'll tell you something, man. I could go on that show and I can win. My only problem is not being able to smoke marijuana. That would be my only problem. But I think I could get through that if I got like 2 people to help me to get through it. As long as I could smoke cigarettes, I'd be okay. And then I'd just rip that fucking house apart.
You probably would.
You know.
You probably would.
Because after a while, I would get agitated and I'm not getting stoned no more. My body would fucking just start to freak out. You know, and that's all on. Everybody would get to see that shit. That would be fun. I think that would be great. You know, but I just ripped them apart, man. I mean, it's fucking great in there. I mean, are you kidding me? If I go in there with all my freaking peeps to watch, vote for my ass. I'm gonna win that motherfucker. Watch. We're gonna constantly go itmiradio.com/sportsworldradio, itmiradio.com/TTW. I'm gonna be constantly doing that shit.
So here it is, folks. This day in wrestling history on July 28th. It was on this day back in 2008 when WWE changed the rating of their TV shows to PG. They changed their ratings on their TV shows, pay-per-views to PG. Well, with the exception of Tough Enough, that was PG-13. But
some human days coming.
PG-17 or whatever the hell. But yeah, it was on this day that they changed the ratings of their shows to PG. Also on this day, July 28th, on Monday Night Nitro, Alex Wright defeated Chris Jericho to win the WCW Cruiserweight title. On this day in 2002, Hardcore Championship changed hands from Bradshaw to Raven to Just Incredible, no relation to J Crab for Now Live, to Sean Stasiak, and back to Bradshaw. On 2003, Molly Holly defeated Gail Kim to win the women's title. 2004, Ultimate X match featured AJ Styles, Michael Shane, and Kazarian retrieved the belt at the same time and are pronounced as co-owners of the TNA X Division title. And it was on this day last year on SmackDown when Dolph Ziggler defeated Kofi Kingston to win the Intercontinental title. The same Dolph Ziggler who defeated Kofi Kingston at Capital Punishment to win the United States title. Happy birthday goes out to Nick Johnson, aka Jeremy Buck. He turns 22 years old today. That concludes your This Day in Wrestling History on July 28th. And as for Impact is concerned, tonight we got a couple of Bound for Glory serious matches between RVD versus Gunner, Bully Wave versus Crimson, aka Goldberg wannabe, because he's got an undefeated streak. And speaking of Impact, Stone Cold Steve Austin posted on his Twitter. He said that WWE should consider signing Samoa Joe once his contract with Impact expires. So apparently Samoa Joe's contract may be on its way up soon. But I don't see Samoa Joe going to the WWE, especially with the ratings and everything. I don't see Samoa Joe going to WWE. That's not happening. Also tonight on Impact, Winter takes on Terra. And then we got ourselves Brian Kendrick taking on Abyss in a Ultimate X match for the X Division title. And Mr. Anderson faces Kurt Angle in a steel cage match. So yeah. Steamboat's an attracted older man, says Evo. Well, maybe he got that hair club for men thing going on. I don't know. So yeah, that's interesting. On that day, Dolph Ziggler defeated Kofi to win a Intercontinental title, and then he defeated Kofi again for another championship. Speaking of Dolph Ziggler, he remixed his theme song. It still got the annoying Vicky Guerrero, but he remixed it. Obviously, his theme song has been remixed. SmackDown better get some superstars going. I mean, they got some injuries over there. Triple H will be on SmackDown tomorrow night. Find out what he has to say. And I guess that means Michael Cole is still going to be on both Raw and SmackDown. He just had to take a back seat on Raw, considering now that JR is back. Thank the good Lord.
Yeah, I'm glad JR is back, man.
You know, JR went through some health problems, which is why he hasn't been announcing. He's been focusing on his barbecue sauce. He's done some sports radio. So it's good to see JR back. JR and the King, just like good old times. Andrew is saying that he and Jonathan and his girlfriend are going to blast the CM Punk old music next Tuesday when they go to the SmackDown TV taping. Oh yeah, that's right. SmackDown's going to my former home, Lexington.
Doesn't that piss you off?
It pisses me off, yes. It pisses me off. And besides, WWE has already been in Augusta. That was back in January. So they won't be back in the Georgia area until probably next year. I've already looked at the schedule. And I probably, even if I do go to WWE, I'd probably end up going to Atlanta, which is 2.5 hours away from me. It's a fucking lot of miles for me to drive to for a show. But, yeah. Have fun. And this coming Saturday in Louisville, Kentucky, the World Heavyweight Champion Christian will be in Louisville signing autographs. I just want somebody to meet Christian and just call him a creepy little bastard, because that was a nickname he used to be called back in his day. So you, Jonathan, and Andrew, and girlfriend, have fun. And I wish I was there, damn it. I wish I was there. Considering Triple H is back on television now. So next week on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio, wrestler and former Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C guest Chrissy Johnson will join us next week, and we'll make our picks for the Hardcore Justice pay-per-view.
She's gonna pick with us?
She's just gonna be interviewed, that's all.
Just gonna be interviewed, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, but if she wants to, then yeah. Normally the interviews on here is 10. Normally the guests are around for like 10 minutes, and then after that we go with the Impact, and then we go with making our picks. Speaking of Impact, it is coming up next on Spike TV. Some matches have already been made for Hardcore Justice. Winter will be facing Mickey James for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Another chick who was in Kentucky recently. She was there for a music concert. She's a musician too, for those who may not know. She had a concert in Louisville, Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. Another reason why I'm pissed. I'm not a country fan, but I'm a Mickey James fan, and it would have been hot to see her in person. I'm just saying. So Hardcore Justice picks next week. Chrissy Johnson will join us. And we'll see what the future holds for CM Punk. Did you know he was at San Diego last Thursday?
Yeah.
He was there.
Yeah, I just read that.
Yeah, he was there mocking Triple H. And obviously, those two have put their differences to the side. Either that or Punk just decided, you know what? They suck without me. I'm coming back. And was now Cena's champion. And Punk has a championship. This should be an interesting Monday Night Raw next week. And SmackDown as well for tomorrow night. Thank you everybody for joining us here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Thank you to Ada Marie, not only in the chat room, but she joined us on the phone line. Don't forget Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C coming up on Saturdays, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. 200 show August 27th. That's it. That's all. Rap Bastard tomorrow night. The More tomorrow night. And then Chilling on Saturday. And of course, Rap Bastard is on Saturday as well. Ebo, check her show out. Lordy Gagging with Ebo on Saturday nights and Sunday afternoons. ITMIRadio.com. We are out of here. Thank you everyone for listening. And we'll see you this Saturday on Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C. And we'll see you next Thursday right here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
See ya.
And since I don't have an annoying closing, I'm just going to end the encoder. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
And we off the air.